Of the Fox 19 10 o'clock news on UPN 25. Now we have to tell you this is a pre-recorded newscast, so anything you hear is valid as of 9 o'clock this evening. And all night, most of the tri-state has been under a tornado watch.
Let's take a look at where that severe weather may hit with Fox 19 meteorologist Maria LaRosa in our first weather center. Maria.
Good evening, Carolyn. Yeah, as of 9 o'clock, most of the area, in fact, all of the area is still under a tornado watch, and for very good reason. Take a look at the radar, and I'll tell you a little bit about what's been going on so far this evening. 6 hours ago, we had a number of tornado watches. The box is in red as I put into motion. And stop it right there. There's a possible tornado that touched down in Hillsborough in Highland County near Willitsville as well. And also around that time, we were talking about tornado warnings to the south of us near Louisville, where there was one death reported. And a couple hours later, another tornado warning for Indianapolis. Sirens rang out during the Indianapolis 500, cut that race short. And notice off to the west, plenty more showers and thunderstorms lining up through eastern Illinois, making their way into Indiana, and this is why the tornado watch off to our west has been continued through 4 a.m. for Indiana counties and through 10 p.m. for everybody else. But I do expect that watch, I should say, tornado watch, will be extended through the morning hours until that cold front does finally push through. And here's another wider look, and you see that cold front extends all the way from the Great Lakes down through the south into Arkansas and still has a few more hours to go. We're looking until after midnight when this finally does push through. Until then, we are under a severe weather threat, potentially dangerous situation. I'll have more details on what you can expect over the next couple hours coming up. Guys, back to you.
We'll be back with much more weather. Thanks a lot, Maria. But meantime, other news, a tri-state toddler has died after being run over by an 91 tornadoes ripped through the country this weekend, and tonight the tri-state's been under a tornado watch.
A long standoff with suspected terrorists in Saudi Arabia ends with dozens of hostages killed.
And Memorial means a lot more this year to one church that's praying for a missing soldier's return.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carolyn Costello.
I'm Jake Atherton. We got those stories and more right now.
This is Cincinnati's 10 o'clock news from Fox 19. First for news.
All night and continuing right now, most of the tri-state has been under a tornado watch.
Let's get a look at where that severe weather may hit with Fox 19 meteorologist Maria LaRosa in our first weather center. Maria.
Good evening, Carolyn. It's been an incredible day weather-wise across much of the Midwest. Another 50-plus tornado report just today on top of the 90-something from yesterday. Let's take a look at how things evolved over the last 6 hours. The red boxes you see are the tornado watches, and I put it into motion. First cluster of tornadoes that moved through Louisville. We also had possible tornado, or at least funnel cloud, associated here in Highland County. We now know is just straight line wind damage there, and also a very strong thunderstorm moving in towards Indianapolis, which turned out to be a tornado through there. And this is the last image we have here, a line of thunderstorms moving through Indiana. Thankfully, right now, no warnings in our area, but we are still under a tornado watch through 4 a.m. because of that line of thunderstorms off to our west. I do want to point out a good news as I take a wider view of the area. I just checked, and most of the thunderstorms associated with the line through Indiana, now getting into Indianapolis, only have severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, I say only because just an hour ago, this whole line had tornado warnings associated with it. So there is some sign that these may be weakening just enough so that we don't have to worry about tornadoes. However, you can very easily get damaging winds and, of course, very large hail with severe thunderstorms. And I expect this line to continue to move off to the east-southeast and be in our area within the next hour or two. So it's going to be a very rough night. This line of storms will not miss us. We are going to see this potentially torrential rain as we head in through the overnight and through tomorrow. Of course, I'll have a much more detailed look at what you can expect through the overnight and tomorrow coming up in just a little bit. Jack, Carolyn?
Stick with us now, and if you've got one of those battery-operated weather radios, this is the time to put it on. A tri-state toddler has died after being run over.
Simba will be quarantined at Lost Ark for 30 days.
Well, let's lighten up a little bit. Actually, quite a lot.
With most of that line, and that is good news as it heads towards Cincinnati. Within the next hour or two, we'll begin to see some of those heavier storms move into the area. We are under a tornado watch through 4 a.m., and these showers and storms will be ending by tomorrow morning, making for the rest of Memorial Day pretty good. I'll be here throughout the night.
Sports wrap is coming up. Yes, we will be sticking by. If there's something you need to know, we'll be here to tell you.
Otherwise, tomorrow night.
Your inner child is...
We have experienced relatively minor damage in the tri-state. Shannon Kettler will have a report on damage in Highland County in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at some very heavy damage in neighboring cities. First, in Marengo, Indiana, nearly 80% of the homes and businesses in the town have been either damaged or destroyed. Marengo is located 35 miles northwest of Louisville. A man in a mobile home was killed and several others injured as a large tornado that ripped across that Crawford County town earlier this evening. Also left behind are countless toppled trees and down power lines. In Indianapolis, the damage may be far worse. One resident described a massive tornado as Godzilla descending from the sky. That tornado tore across the south side of the city around the Beach Grove area, ripping the roof off the Keystone Healthcare Center. More than 50 people had to be rescued from the building. The extent of their injuries is still not known. Of course, no time is a good time for a tornado, but today, of all days, it may have been the worst time. Hundreds of thousands of people were in town to watch the Indianapolis 500 and an NBA playoff game between the Pacers and the Pistons. And we have some video just into 9 News. Take a look at this. Some video of a tornado, the tornado that ripped across the south side of Indianapolis earlier this evening. This being broadcast live on the television stations there in Indianapolis. This from the NBC affiliate WTHR there. We also have a video of another tornado that tore across parts of Indianapolis. This in the darkness. You'll see this next video in just a moment. And you can only see the tornado by the lightning strikes. We have enhanced the video somewhat. You can see that very narrow tornado extending from the sky there, but some very impressive video from Indianapolis. Again, the damage is great, and we do not yet know how many people have been injured, particularly in that healthcare center. Pete, back to you.
Well, I tell you what, Steve, we're going to continue to keep an eye on things. Of course, the entire tri-state right now under a tornado watch until 4 o'clock in the morning. Again, we've had a widespread outbreak of severe weather across the entire country, and unfortunately right now, this line is bearing down on Cincinnati. When I come back in a couple of minutes, I'll let you know when I expect it to get here, what it will do for the tri-state, and what the rest of our holiday weekend will look like. And again, should anything develop between now and the next couple of minutes, of course, we'll break back in and give you the latest update.
All right, Pete, thanks a lot. A tornado has reportedly touched down in Highland County.
Just 6 miles northwest of Hillsboro. 9 News reporter Shannon Kettler has just returned from there and joins us now with more. Shannon?
Well, the reason I've returned back here is because of all the lightning that's still in the area there. But first, shortly before 7 o'clock tonight, a homeowner on Sharpsville Road near the small town of Willitsville says he saw a funnel cloud forming and spiraling down not far from his property. He ran to his basement to take cover, and when the storm passed through, there was damage to his neighbor's property down the road on State Route 124. Andrew Jackson arrived home from his granddaughter's graduation at Hillsboro High School to find his pole barn completely destroyed. It had been standing there for 25 years and weathered through many storms, but tonight's storm tore right through it.
Just thank God no one was hurt. It's the main thing with me. Is it on? You know, we can build that back. That's the way I feel about it.
Now, the Highland County Emergency Management Director reports several trees were also blown over, but no major damage, and the National Weather Service is expected to be out in that area to look at the damage. And the good news tonight, guys, is that no injuries were reported.
All right, Shannon Kettler, thank you for getting back here and bringing us that report. Lightning may be to blame for a house fire in northern Kentucky. It happened on Mount Laurel.
Franklin Ripley until 11 o'clock. That's local time. That's midnight Eastern Daylight Time. And as this line continues to move in your direction, let me add a squall line here, and you'll be able to see for yourself just exactly some times, some places when you can expect that. And again, this whole line of storms is moving off to the east at about 35 miles an hour. So this will give you some times. If you live in Wirt, 11:20, Millhausen, 11:20. We have McCoy, 11:21, Slab 10, 11:22, and Richland around 11:22 as well. So that kind of narrows it down for you when it's going to be in your area. Please remember, this is an extremely dangerous situation that we're just at the beginning of right now here in the tri-state. And as these storms continue to move from the west to the east, I think it goes without saying that there is a chance of a tornado or two, if not, unfortunately, more tonight. We have seen 150 tornadoes in about the last 24 to 36 hours across the Midwest alone. And as these thunderstorms continue to move, again, from the west to the east. Remember that Fayette, Franklin, Ripley, you're under thunderstorm warnings. Union County under a thunderstorm warning as well. These 4 counties are all in Indiana. And anytime
these storms are moving to the
with a tornado watch, which the entire tri-state's under a tornado watch until 4 o'clock in the morning, the local emergency management sounds the sirens, so that just lets you know why the sirens are going off in your respective counties right now. Viper Doppler radar, that tells a story as well, and the story that it tells does not unfortunately look too good. Again, this whole line of severe thunderstorms continues to move towards Cincinnati, and as it does so, I think we're going to be in for, at the very least, some extremely heavy amounts of rain. I also think that we're going to have some gusty winds and a good deal of lightning with these thunderstorms. And again, you're watching one little line move through. We, of course, have another line off to the west of us, and that is the line that I'm even more concerned about right now. It has crossed Interstate 65 and is just now into starting to move into our westernmost counties. Let's talk a little bit about what we have in place. And again, just a quick recap. Remember that a tornado stayed until 4 o'clock in the morning, and these showers and thunderstorms will continue. That watch is in effect, and a watch means that conditions are favorable. But not only that, the Storm Prediction Center issues all the watches for the country. And this tornado watch isn't just your typical tornado watch, and even the typical tornado watches are ones that we, of course, pay a very close attention to. But this is a PDS tornado watch, a particularly dangerous situation. And I want you to take a look at this map, and you can judge for yourself. I've been doing weather for quite a while, and I have never seen tornado watches in effect for this large of a part of the country. And as, again, we look at these tornado watches that are in effect from the Great Lakes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. You can see, look at all of these. Again, we're watching this line continue to move from the west to the east, and as it does so, not only will we get some rain today, but we may even see a scattering of rain for the tri-state as we get into the day tomorrow. So there's the severe line of storms. Here it comes right there. So we've got it several hours. Remember, the watch is in effect until 4 o'clock in the morning. So I think we're going to be with the threat of severe weather until at least that time. And unfortunately, with the heating of the day, we've lost that. The dynamics are still there with this complex that's moving toward us. So it doesn't look like things are going to weaken much, if any at all, as we head through the remainder of tonight. So here's the story. Here's the forecast. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We still have rain across the area. As the day moves along and the cold front moves away, that's what's generating all of this activity. There's a cold front moving into the tri-state right now. The lift, all the moisture that's in place, the low-level jet, a lot of things are in place right now for this severe weather outbreak. But as all of this takes place, we're going to see the rain tonight. It'll stay with us tomorrow morning. Then the front moves away around daybreak tomorrow morning. As it moves away, I think we break out into some sunshine tomorrow afternoon, maybe even maybe a stray shower tomorrow afternoon, but the bulk of the rain is between now and 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tuesday morning, I think we see some sunshine, and then maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm popping up Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday afternoon. There's the cold front. That's what's providing the lift in the atmosphere, or at least part of the ingredients. That front will be past us as we head through the noon hour tomorrow. So improving weather as we go through tomorrow afternoon. But before we get there, I think it's going to be pretty interesting as we head through tonight, unfortunately. So severe storms are without a doubt not only occurring right now, but they stay in the forecast for the remainder of tonight. The big concern that I have is damaging wind, large hail, heavy rain, and please don't take this too lightly. I know you won't, but there is that chance for isolated tornadoes here in the tri-state tonight. It's been occurring across the entire state of Indiana, across the state of Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, and Iowa, and other points as well, and it is in our forecast tonight. That's why that tornado watch is in effect for the tri-state. Morning clouds tomorrow, some leftover morning showers. I think we see some late day sunshine and a high temperature tomorrow of 77. So let's just hang on just another day, and I think we'll be okay after that. Tuesday, Wednesday, some pop-up thunderstorms. Tuesday's high 76, Wednesday's high temperature 73, and then finally get into some drier weather as we get into the end of the week. Let me give you a quick recap here on Ultimate Doppler Radar. There are 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. That is for Fayette, Union, Franklin, and Ripley County. At this point, Fayette County is the only county with a thunderstorm in its area, but at this point we're watching this severe line that stretches from Richmond to Connorsville, Rushville, Greensburg, and then between Versailles and Seymour. As this moves in, damaging wind, large hail is all likely. This storm has a very well documented history of producing damaging wind, large hail, and tornadoes. Remember, tornadoes can happen with little or no advance warning. We are under a tornado watch. We have warnings in place. If the sirens are sounding and you think you hear a tornado or some severe weather in your area, seek shelter immediately. Brian and Julie, I'll be back in a few minutes should conditions warrant an update everyone at that
Thanks
point.
a lot, Pete. Coming up in sport, Reds are hanging on to the lead in their division, but not by much.
And also a big day for the late night king. What was David Letterman doing at the Indy 500? Paula Ferris fills you in next.
Tonight on Local 12, tornadoes churn to the west of us and severe weather rumbles all across the tri-state. Our team of meteorologists tells us what's in store for the overnight. Plus, the cause is in on a Boone County house fire, and it is weather related. And on this holiday weekend, a local vet gets his high school diploma 6 decades late. This is Local 12 tonight.
Now, tonight's top stories and weather before the first commercial break. This is Local 12 at 11.
Severe weather hits the Hoosier State and parts of the tri-state tonight. We have live team coverage and more on the threat of the storms overnight. Good evening, I'm Denison Keller. Paula Toti has the night off. Parts of the tri-state have seen some severe weather tonight, and there may be more storms on the way for the overnight as well. We'll get right to it. For the latest on the watches and the warnings, we turn to Local 12 Chief Meteorologist Tim Hedrick. Tim, what's the latest?
Well, Denison, here's the situation. Everyone has a tornado watch in effect until 4 o'clock in the morning. A strong line of thunderstorms right now moving from west to east across the viewing area. We've seen this come down in intensity just a bit, not a whole lot. Just a bit. Fayette, Franklin, Ripley County all have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until about 12 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. You can see all of the lightning associated with these storms. We will start in to the east of Cincinnati tonight. Earlier, Willitsville, which is to the east of west of Hillsborough, did see a small tornado take down a barn. Tonight, nothing like that in that area. Just a few scattered thunderstorms with some heavy rain. Here's Cincinnati now. We've moved to the northwest and to the west. Fayette County down to the west of Franklin and just getting into Ripley County. Look at the strong thunderstorms, a lot of lightning, potentially damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, and hail possible with these storms. We have no tornado warnings out at this present point, but Fayette, Franklin, Ripley, all severe thunderstorm warnings for about the next half hour. Some of the communities that it will approach: Andersonville, Blooming Grove, Brookville, Cedar Grove, Batesville, Ballstown, Lookout, and Versailles. There is a good chance that as this thunderstorm activity in this strong line pushes across the tri-state, that almost every county will be issued either a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. In that instance, with the tornado watch in effect, the county sirens in some of the counties may go off, because when there is a severe thunderstorm warning coinciding with a tornado watch, or there is a tornado warning, those sirens will sound. A little bit further to the south, this is Switzerland County, part of our viewing area. This is Carroll County as well. You'll see those thunderstorms roll in, and most likely you'll either see a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning issued within the next 15 minutes to 20 minutes, if not sooner. So a strong line of thunderstorms. They've come down in intensity just a little bit. We will continue to watch them. There was a supercell that created a tornado in the Indianapolis area, actually within 465 tonight. Lane Mason has acquired some pictures. He has those now. Lane.
That's right, Tim. 465 and I-70 on the east side of Indianapolis. Some home video was shot, and actually here's some video by way of Wish TV up in Indianapolis, and you can see the massive, impressive photos that were taken and the video taken over on that side of town. Again, quite a bit of damage was reported up there. Just amazing photos from up in that area, and we've seen several different shots of tornado activity. And in fact, there's another severe thunderstorm warning that came out, I believe, in Madison, Indiana. I just was told through the earpiece here. Tim, do you have more on that? Or?
Yeah, I have a couple of tornado warnings, which I think are a little bit more important. And granted, these are to the north of Dayton, but it will show you that all along this line, which really extends from northern sections of Ohio all the way down into the Missouri area, you're either going to see a severe thunderstorm or you may even see a tornado warning for Miami County and Shelby County to the north of Dayton. This is the thunderstorm that they're looking at right now that's moving into the Troy area. A tornado warning until 12:15, most likely. And I haven't seen velocity data, but most likely they're talking, no, we don't have it on right now, but most likely they're talking about that little notch right there creating rotation and possibly pushing in to the Miami County area and the Shelby County area. Steve, one more time, let's go to the west of Cincinnati. I want to show folks the line of thunderstorms pushing in from Indiana. Again, along this line, and everyone will see these thunderstorms in one fashion or another, every county will see either a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, depending on if any rotation is seen. Fortunately, to the west of us right now, all we have seen the last half hour or so are severe thunderstorm warnings. But keep in mind, especially in Hamilton County with such a high population, a tornado watch is in existence. When they issue the severe thunderstorm warning, then the sirens will sound, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. We'll be back with a complete outlook for the next couple of days, another look at precision Doppler 12 radar, and more coverage in just a few minutes. But now it's back to Dennison at the news desk.
All right, thank you, Tim and gentlemen, for all your efforts throughout the evening. Tonight, as Tim mentioned, the worst of the damage, at least in the tri-state, is to the north and east of Cincinnati. Local 12 reporter Larry Davis joins us now live from the newsroom, where he just got back from Highland County. Larry, what'd you find there?
Well, Dennison, a pole barn and a farmhouse and an even larger barn directly behind that house were damaged tonight by what Tim mentioned as a tornado, which touched down around 7 o'clock this evening. But lucky for the family that lived there, they were not home at the time when the storm hit. Now, this is what's left of a pole barn on Andrew Jackson's farm on Ohio 124 near Willetsville. That's near Hillsboro, as we mentioned. Only one side of the barn still standing, the other side smashed by the high winds. Now, this is video of the larger barn, which is directly behind the farmhouse. And this is the farmhouse. Some of the siding was damaged on the north side of that house. Also on the back side of the house, the frame of the garage was bent as well. Now, the family, as I mentioned, was not home at the time of the storm. They were nearby at Hillsboro High School for graduation ceremonies.
And they came and got me. Said the sheriff and all of them was out here, and electric company, and they brought me out here, and this is what I found.
When you got home, what'd you think?
Well, it was pretty bad, it looks like, but no one was hurt's the main thing.
And that is the main thing, that no one was injured in this storm that hit tonight in Willetsville near Hillsboro. Again, no one was injured. They were not home at the time. They were at the Hillsboro High School for graduation ceremonies tonight. Now, Jackson told me that the sirens were going off in the city of Hillsboro at the time when the storm hit, and they told them during the graduation ceremonies that some bad weather was on the way and they had to pretty much hurry up through the graduation ceremonies and get through it. And then he was pulled out of the high school tonight and was made aware of the storm that hit his property tonight. Dennison, back to you.
Larry, I'm curious, any other signs of damage in Highland County, either to or from, on your way back?
No, didn't see anything on the way back. Lots of lightning on the way in, though, as Tim, as you saw on the radar, those storms making their way through the Hillsboro area. But no other signs of damage on the way back. And I did touch base with the Sheriff's Department. They said there was no other damage reported in the county this evening.
All right, Larry Davis in the newsroom. Thank you, Larry. There were also storms to the east of Cincinnati. Heavy rain fell late this afternoon in Owen County, about 60 miles south of Cincinnati. These pictures were taken along US 127 in Owenton. No damage was reported there. There were a few lightning strikes and gusty winds, though. After the storm, a much more pleasant sight, a rainbow stretched from one end of town to the other. Nothing doing, though, in Indiana. It was hit hard tonight, especially Indianapolis. That's where at least one twister touched down. Several buildings were ripped apart, including a nursing home on the city's south side. The twister tore the roof off the Friendship Health Center. 51 residents and 3 staff members were in the center when the tornado hit. No one was seriously injured. Hundreds of thousands of folks attending the Indianapolis 500 were also advised to take cover when the weather moved through. Our own Local 12 reporter and anchor Paul Adler was one of them. He was there as the storm approached the Speedway. A short time ago, I spoke to him on the phone.
It was one of the most bizarre events I've seen in all the years I've been coming to the Indianapolis 500. The race ended early because of the weather, because of rain, and as it ended, the public address announcer announced a tornado warning, and then he said, "I hope you heard me. Get out of the stands now and seek shelter." it was quite nerve-wracking. I have to tell you, you feel almost naked because you're not in your home, you're not in your element.
Paul spent the next hour with his family huddled underneath a concrete staircase at the Speedway. At last check, he's okay, but he had still not made it out of Speedway, Indiana tonight. Heavy storms and some harsh winds swept through Louisville, Kentucky as well today. The storms moved eastward through Frankfort and Lexington. Officials say funnel clouds were seen in Louisville. It was the second batch of storms that tore across the state this week. And in southern Indiana and Marengo, storms destroyed at least 50 homes. An elderly man living in a mobile home was killed. Several other people are hurt, but their injuries are not believed to be serious. A high school there is serving as a shelter tonight. Firefighters say lightning is to blame for a house fire late this afternoon in northern Kentucky. Firefighters were called to the 10,000 block of Mount Laurel Way in Union around 5 tonight. No one was at home at the time and no one was injured, but there is extensive damage at the home. We're told the first floor has fallen into the basement. Tonight, the Red Cross is helping a couple that lived inside that home. Memorial Day weekend marks the beginning of the boating season, but with the bad weather and high river levels, most boats are docked tonight. Continuing our coverage of the Tri-State tonight, this was a look at the river earlier today from Villa Hills. Right now, the Ohio River is at about 45.5 feet. Kentucky wildlife officials say there's been virtually no boating activity this weekend. Debris rushing downstream can damage smaller boats. Boone County Water Rescue officials say you're better off staying on land until the river levels drop.
You got to consider that this is 20 feet above a normal pool, so and that brings higher currents. You got a little over 4 mile-an-hour current right now, and just one mistake could lead into a disastrous day for anybody out there.
And the river is expected to go down in the morning. Our team of meteorologists continue to track several storms across the Tri-State tonight. Here's a live look now from Precision Doppler 12 radar. Meteorologists Tim Hedrick and Lane Mason will have an update on our severe weather and an update on the warnings in southeast Indiana. But first, the latest on a local soldier who has been injured in Iraq. That's coming up.
Coming up on the Cary Automotive Sports Authority, Ralph Underhill joins us. He's coaching the new brand of basketball coming to Cincinnati. We'll have that for you coming up right after the news.
We've moved all the metal to one great location. Now Cary Dodge Chrysler Jeep needs to move some metal. Over 1,000 new vehicles priced to move out. 05 Dodge Caravan SE, $15,834, lease for $229 per month, no down payment. And we guarantee your credit approval.
Room service. Your grape nuts, sir.
It'd take 4 bowls of grape nuts to get the B vitamins in just 1 bowl of total.
That's a manly breakfast. Your Raisin Bran.
10 bowls to equal the zinc in total.
I'll keep the gym open. Your special K, Miss.
40 bowls to equal the calcium in total.
Late checkout this morning?
You need Total. It's got a 100% daily value of 12 vitamins and minerals. No other leading cereal comes close.
Bowl of Total,
I'll take Total.
Kitchen's just closed.
Total Raisin Bran. 1 bowl, 100%.
Memorial Day, the sunrise of summer. And now through June 1st, Buick makes an extraordinary offer. A quality reward of $5,000 total cashback on the luxury of LeSabre. The full-size car with small car fuel economy. A Consumer's Digest Best Buy. LeSabre now gives customers who want the best $5,000 cash back. The Memorial Day event. Get into your Buick dealer by June 1st.
We're out to move some metal now at Cary Dodge Chrysler Jeep. Over 1,000 new vehicles priced to move out. 04 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4, $23,450, lease for $279 per month, no down payment. And we guarantee your credit approval at Cary Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Milford.
In more local news tonight, a tri-state soldier suffered minor injuries when the Humvee he was riding in struck a landmine in Iraq. Army Colonel Arthur Buck Connor, a native of Springdale, was treated for bruises and shrapnel wounds to his face on Thursday. Military officials say he and several other soldiers were thrown from the vehicle after it ran over the landmine near Fallujah. Well, tomorrow, Memorial Day, Local 12 presents a special half-hour program about Cincinnati's connection to one of World War II's worst tragedies. Those in Peril on the Sea with Local 12 reporter Jeff Hirsch is a story of the USS Indianapolis. 880 men died and only 317 survived when the Indy was sunk by a Japanese submarine just 2 weeks before the end of the war. 12 Cincinnatians were killed, including cousins Paul Gotham and Ralph Priestley of Price Hill.
And I said, what's wrong? And they said, Paul and Ralph are missing in action. That's all we knew. That's all the details we got.
The days dragged on. Then, on the very same day, word came of Japan's surrender. Also came confirmation of the Indianapolis. On page 1 of a newspaper delivered by a 14-year-old paperboy named Don Gottman.
This corner here, that's how we found out what happened to Paul and Ralph. Out of the paper. That was the day the war ended. I delivered this paper.
Those in peril on the sea, a Local 12 special Memorial Day presentation airs tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And I understand we have a new batch of warnings coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. I said earlier that almost everyone would see either a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning over the next hour to hour and a half. And indeed, we have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings to pass on. Sirens are sounding in Hamilton County and maybe in your county as well. The policy could be that if there is a tornado watch in effect and a severe thunderstorm warning follows, then the sirens will sound. And that's why the sirens are going off. It is a severe thunderstorm warning for these counties: Dearborn, Ohio counties in Indiana, Switzerland County in Indiana, Boone County in Kentucky, Carroll County in Kentucky, Gallatin County in Kentucky, Butler County in Ohio, and Hamilton County in Ohio. So they've just issued 6 or 7 counties all at once severe thunderstorm warnings, meaning that your county will most likely see winds in some part of the county in excess of 57 miles per hour. Hail is certainly a possibility. If there is a tornado spotted by radar, we will certainly pass that along to you. Dearborn, Ohio County, Switzerland counties in Indiana, Boone County, Gallatin County in Kentucky, Butler County, Hamilton County in Ohio. They're just going to go right along with that line of thunderstorms. Here it is, live precision Doppler 12 radar to show you where that line of thunderstorms is. It has come down in intensity just a little bit. It is certainly more linear in nature than cellular in nature, as it was when it went through Indianapolis. And that thunderstorm cell which created the tornado in Indianapolis was out in advance of this line, sucking up all the energy it could, building to a tremendous height, and then creating that tornado. Well, this is slightly different. Here you have that big line of thunderstorms, but you don't have a severe thunderstorm in advance of it. Up to the north of our counties, Butler County, and up to the north of Warren County, heavy thunderstorm activity. And here's the line that's pushing toward downtown Cincinnati. Probably take another half hour, 45 minutes to get to downtown, but it is certainly affecting all of our southeastern counties. Will get into Hamilton County, cause quite a ruckus here with a good deal of wind and perhaps some hail as well. Everton, you have thunderstorms. That's going to move back in through Union County. You've already been hit. You'll get hit again. Brookville, heavy thunderstorms on the way. Milton, East Enterprise, and Vevey, heavy thunderstorms on the way. Again, you're talking Switzerland, Ohio, Dearborn, Franklin, Hamilton, or Butler, Hamilton, Boone counties next on the agenda. Let me give you one more zoom here. Cedar Grove, Hubbell's Corner, Dillsboro, down to Rising Sun, thunderstorms on the way in through Aberdeen and East Enterprise, Jacksonville, and again Vevey. This thunderstorm in Cross Plains moving into Moorfield is moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. It's not screaming to the east, moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. Let me show you the tornado watches in effect for the entire Midwest. And there are tornado watches really from Illinois all the way into our area, now stretching into eastern Kentucky and eastern sections of Ohio. Cold front moves something like this right now, and everything is a tornado watch because so much has shown or inhibited shown the properties of rotation as they have developed this afternoon. Sometimes this late at night, you get that linear look to all those thunderstorms, and most of what you see is severe thunderstorm activity with winds in excess of 55 miles per hour and perhaps some marble size or golf ball size hail. But again, I'd like to emphasize that a tornado certainly isn't out of the question, and sometimes you can get little rotations on the leading edge of thunderstorm activity like this that are called gustnados that can cause wind gusts to anywhere from 85 to 125 miles per hour. But right now we're showing severe thunderstorms. This model did a pretty good job. It was a little slow with the activity, but nonetheless showed us heavy thunderstorm activity moving in tonight. Scattered showers maybe tomorrow morning, but I think skies turn partly cloudy as the day goes on. Showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms will certainly be severe. Your low temperature down to 65 tonight. For tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy with a high temperature near 77 degrees. Your planning forecast checks in like this. Monday, maybe a few showers and thunderstorms during the morning. I doubt we'll see much during the afternoon, probably just partly cloudy skies. And that activity during the morning should be early. Tuesday, 72, Wednesday, 74, Thursday, 75, on Friday, 78. Let me repeat. Dearborn, Ohio, Switzerland, Boone, Carroll, Gallatin, Butler, and Hamilton counties. A severe thunderstorm warning has been placed in effect until 12:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Again, if you hear your sirens, that is because there is a tornado watch that was first issued, and then the severe thunderstorm warning on top of that. And in many counties, that will make the sirens go off. So that just tells you that you have a severe thunderstorm warning, but at the same time, tornado watch is in place, and any severe thunderstorm, given the right circumstances, and many of those have done it today, like to spin up small tornadoes. So we'll keep an eye on the velocity associated with these storms as they push to the east, but keep in mind, almost every county will see a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning within the next half hour to hour.
There's such a long line stretching all the way back through the Midwest.
Right.
How long might this linger on?
It won't linger that long. The good thing is the strongest storms will push through the area. They're moving into Dillsboro, Milton, Aberdeen, East Enterprise, Jacksonville, Vevey right now. They will push in the strongest stuff. It's going to last maybe a half hour. Then you're going to get into some rain, and I don't think you will see a reoccurrence overnight. You may see a few more developing showers along the frontal system, which is most likely off to the west. And if we can put up first alert, and this may take a second, if there's any way we can put up first alert, and there's a full screen graphic there of all the county warnings, there it is right there. So you can see the tornado watch in green, and it covers all the counties in yellow as well. And then the severe thunderstorm warnings are located in the yellow. Those thunderstorms are simply as they push from west to east, initiating severe thunderstorm warnings, telling people that you may see wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. You'll probably see some hail associated with these things. If you've got the plastic furniture outside, you know what? It's probably going to be blown down the street just a little way.
Let me ask you this.
Yep.
It's almost midnight now. Folks have the day off tomorrow. Is it best at this point to stay up and not go to bed until this thing comes through?
You know, after the worst initial line comes through, I think you're fine. You know, I think you want to watch this line fairly carefully just to make sure we don't get a gustnado on the leading edge, or sometimes you get a mesocyclone in the middle of this line, meaning that there's almost an induced low pressure system, which starts to turn the warm air one way and the cool air one way, and you start to get some inherent rotation in some of the thunderstorms, and what they like to do is spin up some tornadoes. But right now, no tornado warnings, only severe thunderstorm warnings coinciding with the tornado watch, which is making the sirens go off in many counties. We'll be back with a update at the very end of the broadcast.
I look forward to
it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tim. A special story on this Memorial Day weekend. A local veteran gets an important piece of paper nearly 6 decades late. We'll explain next on Local 12.
Never before, never again. An extra $500 cash back on Ford F-150's just been announced, now through Tuesday. Get up to $4,500 cash back or 0% APR for up to 60 months. That's up to $4,500 cash. Plus 2 tickets to the Built Ford Tough 225 and a great race package at no extra charge when you buy a Built Ford Tough F-150. Hurry, $4,500 cash ends Tuesday, only at your Greater Cincinnati Ford dealers. You've made it happen again. Thanks to you, Local 12 is the most watched local news team in Cincinnati. Local 12. Number 1 in the morning. Number 1 at noon. Number 1 at 5:30, 6, and 11. And number 1 on the weekend. You've rewarded our commitment to news where you live, weather where you live, and breaking news where you live. Local 12. Your choice for news where you live.
I want to be a zoo baby. I want to be like you. Same eyes, same ears, same furry feet. I'm a wild thing too. Bring your little ones to see our little ones during Zoo Babies, presented by Downy and Pampers, now at the Cincinnati Zoo.
Right now, Beechmont Toyota is offering their best deals ever with extra shipments from the factory. That means you'll get 2004 Siennas, 4Runners, Tacoma and Tundra trucks, Sequoias in any color and any option. And only at Beechmont Toyota can you get Life Care Plus, a warranty on the purchase of any new Toyota for as long as you own the car. Any Toyota, any color, any option, and a lifetime warranty. What am I waiting for? Only at Beechmont Toyota on the Beechmont Auto Mile.
This portion of Local 12 is brought to you by Beechmont Toyota.
In more local news, today was graduation day in one part of the tri-state, and it took on a special meeting for one local vet. Ron Paul was sent off to war during World War II. Today, 6 decades after he completed his courses, he returned to Ripley Union Lewis Huntington High to pick up something he left behind, his diploma. The graduates took time to thank the vet who put his life on the line instead of walking the line at his own commencement ceremony. Congratulations to you, Mr. Paul, and thank you for your service, and well done, Ripley. It makes me proud to call that home. The Reds head back to U.S. soil after winding up their weekend series in Montreal. Plus, gentlemen, stop your engines. A wet and wild and dangerous 500. Harvey's highlights are next.
Coming up on Monday on Good Morning Cincinnati, live from Fountain Square, you could help get Cincinnati's most wanted criminals off the streets. And that's a wrap. A local high school student gives us the lowdown on
Grant County in Kentucky, Owen County in Kentucky as well, Dearborn County, Ohio County, Switzerland County, Boone County, Carroll, Gallatin, Butler, and Hamilton counties. All severe thunderstorm warnings presently in effect. You can see heavy thunderstorms right along the Indiana-Ohio line, stretching all the way down through Owenton, all pushing to the east at about 30 miles per hour. These have weakened a little bit. We're not seeing tornado warnings at the moment, which is certainly a good sign. Sometimes these thunderstorms like to pulse, sort of breathe in and breathe out. Right now, they're breathing in. They're not causing a lot of damage. Some power lines down out in the Ripley County area, but right now, that's all the surface reports of damage that we have across the area. So heavy thunderstorms moving to the east. Give me a quick zoom here of northern Kentucky, because this line of thunderstorms appears to be a little bit heavier than the thunderstorm activity moving into Hamilton County. We're going to take you down into northern sections of Kentucky, Canton, Campbell, Pendleton County, next on the agenda. Riverside, Silver Grove, Alexandria, Grants Lick, Gardnersville, and Falmouth expect heavy thunderstorm activity. Lightning, winds in excess of 55 miles per hour are possible, and some hail associated with this storm as well. We'll keep an eye on this storm activity for you. It's moving to the east at about 35 miles per hour. We'll take a quick break. We'll have more Harvey, which I know you're looking forward to. Another weather update coming up in just a few minutes, but now to break.
You know what they say. On down through Versailles. It looks like you guys are all clear now. More than likely the tornado watch box will be expiring for you folks already. I know that Mike has updated some of the counties again that are out of that tornado watch box. So again, the strong line is from areas of Preble on down through portions of getting into
line of thunderstorms that is moving through the tri-state, and again, 15 severe thunderstorm warnings in place. If the sirens are sounding where you live, they are sounding because
eventually I think you'll see warnings for Warren County, Clinton County, Highland County, Adams County, Brown County, and Claremont County over the next hour, including Bracken and Mason and Robertson as well, because that thunderstorm activity is simply pushing to the east. And for a look, here's a look at live precision Doppler 12 radar to show you where that thunderstorm activity is. This is coming down in intensity just a little bit. Certainly we are seeing a good deal of lightning. Can we throw up tower cam? Looking to the west, right into this storm, we are looking into a good deal of lightning across the area. If we have tower cam available, there's some cloud-to-cloud lightning across the area. Occasionally we will catch a cloud-to-ground strike, but we are looking right into the core of that fairly heavy thunderstorm cell, which has produced a lot of lightning over the last half hour to 45 minutes across western sections of Hamilton County and right along the river as well. It is an electrical storm, and it is still a fairly powerful storm as far as providing winds in excess of 40 miles per hour and some small hail across the area as well. Let's go back to live precision Doppler 12 radar. You see a lot of low clouds as well out in advance of this strong line of thunderstorms. You call that scud, and sometimes that scud can be mistaken for tornadoes. In this instance, it's just low-lying clouds zipping out ahead of that frontal system, or in this instance, of that strong thunderstorm activity. I'm going to take you from north to south along this line to give you an indication as who's going to see this thunderstorm activity next. Poasttown Heights, Middletown, minutes away. LaSwordsville, Kyles, Beckett Ridge, Fairfield, and Forest Park, really just minutes away from heavy thunderstorm activity. Again, damaging winds are possible.
again, that's coming from Florence, Kentucky, and And at this point, as I look at the radar, and we'll do this together, I want you to know that I don't see any one part of
through the airport. CVG certainly seeing some very heavy rains. And as we'll go to our street level mapping here, we'll again, Foley Road. If you live pretty close to that area, you're looking at some stronger storms just starting to edge in. Neeb Road as well. As we get down towards portions of Kenton County, also out towards Boone County, we're looking at Ellesmere and Erlanger, Edgewood, Crestview Hills. Storms are knocking on your door. Florence, you've got storms just starting to enter into your picture at this time. And we'll go back out to a broader picture. Mike, any additional information you got coming in right now?
Well, no new reports. It looks like what you're showing here, it looks like the line, is it hinting at some weakening over the downtown area? What kind of winds there? I'm not seeing any new reports just yet, but it looks like the most unstable area is just south of the city.
Okay, so that was kind of where that bow that we were talking about.
And the sirens are going off, by the way.
Okay, they are going off.
Reports in Kenton County, they're going off.
Okay.
Of course, the tornado watch up, the severe thunderstorm warning, they will go off in certain counties. So if you do hear the sirens go off, like Jim was saying, it does not necessarily mean a tornado warning. It's just some counties have that protocol to issue to trigger the sirens during a tornado watch.
Right.
And of course, as the strong storms go through your area, the tornado watch is literally expiring as this line of storms goes through your neighborhood. So now we're seeing the watch basically expire in Switzerland County, the western parts of Switzerland County, in Indiana, western parts of Ohio County. Gallatin County, things are starting to settle down there. Just some good moderate rain showers behind it.
You're looking live from our city cam right now, kind of give you a perspective. Oh, that was a pretty good lightning strike right there. As we are looking again live from our city cam out towards the west, as we're tracking these storms coming in from the west and crossing over the river now and impacting areas of the downtown area of Cincinnati. Of course, folks in Boone County and also out towards Kenton and Campbell County. Be on the lookout for some strong winds, but even for you folks up in Butler County and of course here in Hamilton County, we're looking at some pretty strong storms. We'll just kind of move in to a couple spots here. Oxford on down through Riley, looking at the leading edge of those storms. Collinsville, you're about to see these storms move through.
15 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the tri-state, that it is not out of the question to see a tornado spawned here.
And it's kind of like a homecoming for him.
The funny thing is I was talking to Adrian Ross of it.
Being impacted by at least, you know, it gives you a better idea of where the leading edge of these storms are out towards State Highway 129. And also we're looking out towards State Highway 748 out towards Okeana. Shandon, looking at some strong storms moving through your area at this time. And also out towards State Highway 744, you can see these storms beginning to get pretty close to your area, as we've got this one particular storm cell here. Probably some very heavy rain, maybe a little bit of hail.
We'll hang with it for just a moment if we can until we lose it, just simply due to the fact that I want to let you know of the intensity of this thunderstorm. Again, yeah, you can see how it's really, it is really coming down. We can go to Ultimate Doppler radar right now. And again, that is due to, Julie, you have another update?
Yeah, we just got a phone call from a woman who lives on Barnes Road in Williamstown, Kentucky, of course, Grant County.
Yes.
And she's giving us our first report of some major damage in that area. A storm apparently just blew away their shed and parts of their barn. So obviously we see that the storm is moving through there right now, but she's gotten some significant damage on her property there in Williamstown.
Okay, yeah, Williamstown right down here, and you can see it just to the south of Dry Ridge. Very pretty part of the tri-state. You hate to see that damage anywhere. But again, we are seeing that potential for it. Here are that are running our cameras this evening are looking at me. That's hail that we're hearing hitting the roof. We've had hail of 3/4 of an inch to an inch in diameter across the area. We'll continue to see that tonight. Campbell County, Alexandria, New Richmond, Ohio.
Typically you find that the stronger thunderstorms usually are associated kind of on the bowing of this area. So right through here, down through Falmouth and along 75 heading down towards Lexington, this will be an area to watch out for, but still nonetheless, all these counties are underneath the severe thunderstorm warning as of right now. It looks like for you folks in Indiana, storms are just getting out of Franklin County and Union County, out through Dearborn County, Switzerland and Ohio County, and westward. I think you folks pretty much will be getting the all clear here pretty soon, and you'll see these warnings come to an end, these severe thunderstorm warnings, that is, and you'll also be seeing these tornado watch for your counties being allowed to expire as well, which is certainly good news, as these storms are now making their way into western and southwestern portions of Ohio, as well as an extreme northern tip of Kentucky, with Falmouth down through just east of Owenton looking at probably the strongest of these storms right now. But for you folks in Butler County and Hamilton County, still underneath that severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go back out to our city cam if we could. Take another look outside as we're starting to see the rain really pick up. Probably see some, the city cam probably move back and forth a little bit as we've got these stronger winds coming out of this storm cell or the storm system right now along this line. And again, you can see the visibility is probably dropping quickly in the downtown area of Cincinnati as the storms are bringing some very heavy rain. You heard about the flood warning that we had for portions of Owen County. That flood warning, they picked up a quick inch to an inch and a half of rainfall. And from our city cam, again, you can see quite a light show out there for this Sunday evening, or what I should say Monday morning now for your Memorial Day. And the good news is once we get these storms through here, we'll be looking at a quieter weather pattern for tomorrow. It probably won't be that appealing to you as we're talking cooler weather. And along with that, we're also talking at least a few spotty showers, maybe some heavier pockets of rainfall in that very unstable air for
an hour. Damaging wind, large hail, as now we look at Butler County. Again, we're looking at the area up here around Hamilton, Middletown. You can see how these spots right now are seeing some very intense thunderstorms, some extremely gusty winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. Is Skycam up? Can we take a look at Skycam again? It is raining extremely hard in downtown Cincinnati. Flooding, obviously, a concern. The reason that the shot there is breaking up a bit, you can see the lightning flashing in the background, is because it is rain. It's like a satellite that you have at home. It's raining so hard right now, we're starting to lose a little bit of our transmission. But I think this tells a story. We are just getting dumped on in downtown Cincinnati, and I'll go down here just a bit more on ultimate Doppler radar. Very heavy rain falling in downtown Cincinnati right now. We have extremely gusty winds here in Norwood. Not only in Norwood, but in Mount Washington, just starting to get on the, it's raining in Mount Washington, but this is just the leading edge for you. And in addition to that, Norwood is currently seeing it, Dayton, Bellevue, Clifton, Hyde Park, all of these areas right in the thick of things right now with these thunderstorms. Clifton, Wentworth Avenue, Brookline Avenue, Lorraine Avenue, Belsall Place, Lafayette Avenue, Windings Lane, Ludlow Avenue, Martin Luther King Drive, Riddle Road, the Norwood area, Lawrence Avenue, Cleveland Avenue, Mentor Avenue. Let me zoom back out a bit wider, and what I want to do at this point is I want to put on one of the other features that we have on Ultimate Doppler radar, and it will show some other attributes of the storm, other areas that of course we're concerned about here around the Coleraine, Cheviot area, just outside of North College Hill, just to the south of White Oak, just outside of Groesbeck. And again, we're looking at winds and very large hail. 2-inch hail with this thunderstorm in this part of the tri-state, half-inch hail there. So again, we are looking at a very intense part of this thunderstorm. This one has 1.5 inches hail. So again, I think you've got the idea of the size of hail that is a possibility with this thunderstorm. Again, let's move into parts of Kenton County as well. This is around Wilder. I think a lot of folks are familiar with this area, and again, we're looking at winds of right around 58 miles an hour. In addition to the winds of around 58 miles an hour, we have some very large hail, possibly some hail around 1.5 inches to 2 inches in diameter around the Southgate area, around Fort Thomas, and it's moving in your direction. If you live in Fort Thomas, you can expect some large hail, some damaging wind. And in addition to the damaging wind, you're going to see some extremely heavy rain from this thunderstorm that is now moving into the Mount Washington area. It is now moving into Newtown, Forestville. And at this point, Claremont County is not under I have a stack of papers here, so pardon me for a moment, but I do not believe that Claremont County is under a severe thunderstorm warning. No, you are not, but you will be momentarily, because as this complex of thunderstorms moves a bit closer to Claremont County, and also Warren County, you will no doubt be issued a severe thunderstorm warning here in the next few minutes or so. And again, as it continues to move toward Lebanon and Batavia, very heavy winds, gusty, very strong, heavy rain across the tri-state continues to fall. And as we take a look at this, let me put on all of the severe thunderstorm warnings right now that are...
Claremont.
Claremont severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued. Okay, so that's just coming in right now. Thank you very much, Jeff. Synergy is telling us right now, one of their spokespersons is telling us that 683 homes are without power at this moment. So again, folks at Synergy telling us 683 homes are without power. And I would think, Steve, you know, you've been doing a lot of the storm reports here for us. I would think that that may go up due to the intensity of these thunderstorms. And as we look down on the Falmouth area right now, Grant County, Pendleton County, getting ready to move toward Bracken County. Quite a thunderstorm here, and again, more updates, right?
Yeah, power is certainly becoming an issue at this time. In fact, I believe, Pete, that we are on backup power here at Channel 9. I believe our generators have now kicked in and we've switched over to backup power. Those 683 homes that you talked about without power, those are mainly in the Florence area. We're getting reports of electrical fires because the lightning out there is absolutely tremendous all over the tri-state, so keep that in mind. Definitely stay indoors. You don't want to be outside, certainly in conditions like this. Also, we have reports now of some rather large hail in the Grant County area around Williamstown in Grant County. Okay. Hail being reported there.
You know, Steve, as you were talking, this just came in. I mentioned the Claremont County, of course, in Ohio, a warning that's came in, and now we have one for Bracken County and Warren County. So this thunderstorm that we're looking at right now, a very intense thunderstorm in Pendleton County around Falmouth, that is moving toward Bracken County. You are now under a severe thunderstorm warning until 1:15. This thunderstorm is capable of producing damaging winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. Again, it's a line extending from Carlisle to 6 miles southwest of Mason and 19 miles southwest of Brooksville. Or it's along a line extending from Carlisle to Sharonville to 8 miles south of Falmouth. It is moving east at 40 miles an hour. Very heavy rain. This rain may flood low-lying areas such as ditches and
severe weather, to be out of that tornado watch and to be out of those severe thunderstorm warnings. Ripley County, if you're watching us in Versailles or Osgood, Napoleon, you're looking real good. Also out towards Cotton and Craig in Switzerland County, Gallatin, you're looking real good as well. Even Owen County, more than likely the strongest of those storms have moved through your area. So Owenton, I know you're still dealing with rain. You're still going to have more rain to deal with here over the next hour, maybe an additional inch of rainfall. And of course, flooding can be a very dangerous situation as well. Do not drive through areas that have been covered, especially some of those roadways. You might be surprised at the intensity of that rainfall.
Damaging wind, then we're getting into some hail with these storms, and then after the hail, then we're just seeing the very heavy rain, or a combination thereof of the rain and then the hail. But nonetheless, we are seeing this line continue to move off to the east, and as it moves off to the east, it seems as though everyone at this point will have a severe thunderstorm warning issued. The entire tri-state is under a tornado watch until 4 o'clock in the morning. The tornado watch is in effect until 4
miles per hour, so this is where we might be dealing with the damaging winds. Again, 58 mile per hour winds just south and, or rather just north and west of Cynthiana, and just south and east of portions of Cordova. We're looking at, again, maybe some hail associated with that. Also, we'll be looking at a chance of certainly seeing some stronger type wind gusts down through there. Also up towards Middletown and Hamilton, we're looking at, again, a pretty good chance of seeing maybe a little bit of isolated hail with that.
New flood warning for
New flood warning for Grant County. Okay, so we've got several flood warnings to pass along. And of course, the flood warnings for Owen County and Grant County. Of course, radar indicated anywhere from an inch to an inch and a half of rain through Grant County. And these are areas that have been flooding over the past several days now. And more than likely we'll be dealing with more flooding. And you know, here's an interesting point. The amount of rainfall that we've had over the past several days, it'll be interesting to see the river levels as they kind of lag behind and see what kind of flooding we may have here in the downtown area of Cincinnati, or maybe even further south. That'll be something to pay attention to. Certain
minutes. It's going to dump a lot of rain. It's going to cause potentially some damaging wind, and it's going to produce the potential damaging hail. So it's going to be around for maybe a half an hour or 45 minutes or so. There could be some localized flooding. There could be some wind damage. And we have not had any reports of any tornadoes being spawned across the area. But again, that's still a possibility because it's 1:45 right now. We still have a tornado watch in effect for the area until 4 o'clock in the morning. So as we go back to ultimate Doppler radar, you can see that we still have this line of storms that's moving across the tri-state, and as I put it into motion, you can see we're still seeing down in Bracken County.
That is our show for today.
Moscow, Ohio, Butler, Kentucky, Morgan, Kentucky.
Cary Automotive Sports Authority. Have a great Memorial Day. And right now, stick around. Tim Hedrick's got more on the severe weather.
Harvey, thank you very much. A nice show. Severe thunderstorms continue across the tri-state. Once again, consider yourself warned. If your county is not seeing a severe thunderstorm warning, assume that you will be under a severe thunderstorm warning within the next 15 to 20 minutes. We had mentioned Robertson County a little bit earlier. Severe thunderstorm warning now for Robertson County until 1:30 in the morning. We have picked up tree damage in places like Batavia, in Independence, Kentucky, power lines down out in Ripley, Indiana. So with some of these particular thunderstorms, we have seen damaging winds. With others, we've just seen strong winds, lightning, and a good deal of rain. You can see the rain right now, the thunderstorm activity stretching from Middletown down into Hamilton, downtown Cincinnati. It's actually on the east side right now, in through Madeira, Montgomery, Indian Hill, and then down to the east of Alexandria, east of Falmouth, and pushing to the east at about 35 miles per hour. After this initial really hard band of rain and wind, you will continue to see rain, you will continue to see lightning, but nothing like that first line of rain. You can see the heavier rain behind that initial burst of thunderstorm activity. Here's a look at Warren County, and it's going to move into Gentown, Lebanon, Mason. You'll see heavy rains, a lot of lightning, and we're starting to pick up damage from lightning hits alone within the last hour or so. Waynesville, you'll see heavy thunderstorms as well. This is Claremont County, so that heavy thunderstorm activity pushing through Madeira and Blue Ash, through Anderson.
A man there struck by lightning. They tell us that he at least was not breathing at the time. So obviously not good news there in Warren County. Again, that at the Cozy Dale campground in the southern part of Warren County. Also a possible structure fire now due to a lightning strike in Blue Ash.
Adams County. So for you folks that are in Brown County and Adams County that were underneath that severe thunderstorm warning, again, now you are.
I remember. We talked that night.
This is a Precision Doppler 12 severe weather alert.
Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Tim Hedrick from the Precision Doppler 12 Weather Center. We told you that if a tornado warning was issued, we will certainly break back in. And we do now have a tornado warning. This is for Mason County in Kentucky, right down here where a heavy thunderstorm is, Adams County in Ohio, and Brown County as well in Ohio. So these three counties now, a tornado warning until 1:45. It says the National Weather Service Doppler radar indicated a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. So it is a Doppler radar indicated tornado near Aberdeen or about over Maysville, moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. I'm going to step out of the screen here, and I am going to go work the controls of Doppler so we can take a look at exactly what the National Weather Service is talking about. Once again, Mason County in Kentucky, Adams County, Brown County in Ohio, a tornado warning until 1:45 this morning.
Oh, okay.
Let's take a look at that.
The one cell's right on the county line.
We're going to zoom into the tri-state here, and we are going to push right down into that area. Mount Orab, Arnheim, Georgetown is in Brown County. Maysville is, of course, in Mason County. You can see heavy thunderstorms across the area. There is a little bit of an indication that there may be something going on right around Maysville. Let me zoom in there. You've got a little bit of a bow there, certainly. I'm going to go to a different process here, and to do that, I'm going to go to something called velocity. And the radar screen is going to change somewhat, but not only are we going to be able to look at precipitation, how hard and where it's raining and where that rain is moving to, but we will also be able to look at velocity associated with raindrops moving toward and away from the radar site. And this radar will not only update precipitation, but we will start collecting velocity data as well from this particular storm. as it continues to move off to the east at about 35 miles per hour. Let's go a little bit closer down into the area that they suspect of having some circulation, and we will go ahead and take a look at some velocity data within this area. Certainly there is a convergence of winds in that particular area. Certainly there is going to be a lot of wind associated with that as well. Let's take a look a little bit to the east here. And in the Maysville area, certainly a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado in existence. For Mason County, Adams County, and Brown County, Adams and Brown being in Ohio, until 1:45 in the evening, a tornado warning has been issued. Again, the orange colors here would indicate winds going away from the radar site. The blue would indicate winds going toward the radar site. So not a distinct couplet here, to be quite honest, of a tornado in existence at this point. May have been derived from something that had occurred just minutes ago. You do have a little bit of something going on now to the east of Maysville. In this particular area, let me draw a line here. Let me draw a circle for you as to where that might be. In this area right here, between Ellsbury, Maysville, and Springdale. And of course that would push off to the east, so that's an area that we'll watch very carefully for a little bit of rotation. You've got a little bit of a couplet there, which may indicate a severe thunderstorm capable of producing rotation, capable of producing a tornado, and that's exactly what the warning has been declared for, a Doppler radar indicated tornado, sort of at the place where Mason County and Brown County and Adams County come together. And there certainly is a little bit of something going on there in the way of rotation between Everton and Springdale down there to the south. Let's get a wider look and let's take that off the screen and go back to reflectivity data. And again, this is where it's raining and how hard it's raining. And again, we know that this storm system is pushing off to the east. Sometimes as well you look for lightning data on the northern portion of the storm that may be creating the tornado. And there is some evidence of lightning back near the Red Oak area, back near the Levana area, and the East Ripley area as well, indicated by the lightning strikes that you see on your particular television. There is a little bit of a bow again with this particular thunderstorm. We'll go back into the velocity mode, and orange and yellow would be winds moving away from the radar site, and blue would be winds moving toward the radar site. And there is certainly some sort of rotation trying to occur in the Bradysville, Sand Hill, in between there, and Aberdeen to the east.
There's a severe thunderstorm warning that just came down too for Highland County.
Severe thunderstorm warning now issued for Highland County.
That's until 2 a.m.
Until 2 a.m. So we will watch that particular storm as well. As a matter of fact, in one moment we will go up and take a look at that.
Local 12 weather.
Let me go ahead and put an X right here where we do see a little bit of convergence going on, or a little bit of rotation that is certainly possible. You can see that between the Bradysville area and Sand Hill and Aberdeen area.
Mount Orab.
Tornado possibly creating thunderstorms. Also Mount Orab, golf ball size hail coming down to the ground. So let's go up and check on Hillsborough, and let's go check on Highland County, and also let's check in the Mount Orab area as well. As this thunderstorm activity has re-intensified just a little bit over the last 15 minutes, now creating some more hail and high winds. Let's take a look at Highland County first of all. They've issued a severe thunderstorm warning until 2 o'clock in the morning for places like Hillsborough, Berrysville, Folsom, Boston, Samantha. That thunderstorm activity moving across that county at about 30 miles per hour. Remember, earlier today it was in Willitsville that there may have been a tornado which damaged or took down actually a couple of buildings, a barn and a couple of buildings. And once again, they are being hit by heavy thunderstorm activity. Mount Orab is in northern Brown County. So we are going to move just to the west of there. And Mount Orab has seen some large hail And sometimes when you get sort of an appendage growing out from a thunderstorm, like there is from Maurystown back to Buford, you know that thunderstorm is sometimes creating hail. So there indeed may have been some golf ball size hail in the Mount Orab area. Again, a tornado warning has been issued for the Maysville area, also southeastern sections of Brown County, southwestern sections of Adams County, and northern Mason County until 1:45 this evening. Doppler radar indicated by the National Weather Service a possible circulation down in that area. Again, you're looking at the thunderstorm moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. You do have a little bit of a cusp or a V there between Center Point, Neal, Hyatt, and back toward Aberdeen. And it's in that area that we have seen some minor rotation on our particular Doppler radar. Let's once again take a look at velocity spectrum because a tornado warning has been issued. There is a little bit of a couplet there between the blues and the oranges, or winds moving away from the radar site and winds moving toward the radar site, but not extremely pronounced at this time. Let's drop down to the south just a little bit. And again, thunderstorm activity stretching all the way down through Mason County, in through Helena and Flemingsburg, Mount Carmel. Heavy thunderstorm activity. Tornado warning continues for Mason, Adams, and Brown County in Ohio until 1:45. If you live in that county, Mason, Adams, and Brown, if you have damage from what you think was a tornado and feel safe at this point, give me a call at 763-5441. 763-5441. Also, you can email me any pictures you might have taken from storms today, tonight, or tomorrow, but please don't go out in the lightning. You can email me those at dopplertim@wkrc.com. Once again, tornado warning has been issued for Mason County, Adams County, and Brown County in Kentucky and Ohio until 1:45 in the morning. The rest of the
Severe thunderstorm warning underneath it.
area is under a tornado watch until 4 o'clock in the morning, and you can see the heaviest thunderstorms now moving to the east across Wilmington, Hillsborough, West Union, and Maysville. We have folks checking on a tornado near Orangeburg in Mason County, which would be, I believe, in northern sections of that county. And you can see still heavy thunderstorm activity. And there could be some weak rotation or a weak tornado occasionally dropping from this particular thunderstorm as it pushes through Adams County or northern sections of Mason County over the next half hour. Once again, check in on the velocity from this. Orange is winds moving away from the radar site, blue moving towards the radar site.
Okay, I'll pass it on.
And we are going to watch this thunderstorm very carefully, as this is really the first tornado warning that we have seen in this area. Again, blues moving toward the radar site. There's a little bit of a couplet down across northern sections of Mason County and southern Adams County that may reflect some weak rotation going on, and we are checking that data right now as we speak. Let's zoom out once again. You can see the entire thunderstorm activity pushing through the tri-state. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect for Highland County and for Adams County and for Mason County as well. And you can see the thunderstorms pushing into that particular area. A lot of lightning down in the Flemingsburg area. Be aware of that. And a lot of wind associated with these thunderstorms pushing off to the east at about 35 miles per hour. Once again, thunderstorms pushing to the east at 35 miles per hour, and a tornado watch in effect for southern sections of Ohio and northern Kentucky until 4 o'clock in the morning. If you live back in places like Blanchester, Cincinnati, anywhere across Boone County down to Owenton, you know what you're receiving, just some light to moderate rain. It's the folks to the east of you that have the threat of a tornado right now, and that's why we're on TV, and we'll probably stay on TV until this stuff is pushing out of our viewing area. Again, this is heavy thunderstorm activity moving into Bacon Flat, Jacksonville, Blue Creek, Concord, Vanceburg, Tollsburg, Kinnickinnick, Crum, and Mount Carmel. Again, strong thunderstorm activity moving to the east. It prompted a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning. That does not mean a tornado was sighted on the ground. That means Doppler radar indicated some rotation in perhaps the Bradysville area, in the Maysville area, pushing to the east at about 35 miles per hour. With our Doppler radar, we have indicated some weak rotation, nothing extremely strong, certainly convergence of winds indicating a strong updraft that we will continue to watch over the next 20 minutes or so as it pushes on through the Tollsburg, Vanceburg, Concord, Catbird area and West Union area as well. But a tornado warning in effect until 1:45. Let's take a wider look now at this thunderstorm activity pushing to the east at 30.
Up at about midnight last night, you may have heard tornado sirens. You saw lightning, torrential rain, and strong winds blow through the area. Winds and falling trees damaged homes across the tri-state, and lightning struck and killed a man in Warren County.
Tornadoes touched down in cities across the Midwest. Two of the closest hit, Louisville, Kentucky and Marengo, Indiana. Winds as high as 170 miles an hour damaged or destroyed cars and at least 50 homes in Marengo. At least one person is confirmed dead there. Cadaver dogs were out today searching for anyone else who may have been killed. Here in the tri-state, lightning illuminated the sky. Bolts split trees. A fisherman at Lake Cozydale in Warren County was holding his fishing pole when the storms blew in. He was struck by lightning and killed.
It looked like the lightning hit this pole and then jumped over on him.
And straight line winds blew through this Kenton County neighborhood. You can see the wind's path. It ripped apart a shed, blew across this yard, ripped off a piece of that roof, and over at the neighbor's place, blew a camper from the neighbor's driveway into his front yard. Meanwhile, trees fell on homes and littered yards in Florence, Kentucky.
And I saw the winds, and I heard a whistling noise. The little baby's wagon started going back and forth, and the house shook a little bit.
The whole neighborhood's hit, you know, by whatever come through here. That I don't know, but it was something.
We have learned the name of the man who was struck by lightning. His name is Ed Vincent. Many of the folks we spoke to in the tri-state today are shaken by the damage the weather caused, but relieved knowing Ed Vincent and other people in other areas went through much worse.
Oh my goodness. All right, thank you, Carolyn. Storms that barreled through Kansas this weekend may have led to a crash that killed a state senator. Stan Clark was driving on Interstate 70 Saturday through high winds and reduced visibility when a tractor trailer rear-ended his car, smashing it into another semi. Senator Clark left behind a wife and a son. In Haiti and the Dominican Republic, the death toll has risen to nearly 1,500, and hundreds more are missing and presumed dead. 3 days of punishing rain led to mudslides and floods, wiping out entire villages in southeast Haiti. Now the fear is that contaminated water from decomposed bodies will spread disease. Well, we can't complain about the end of this holiday weekend, but more storms are brewing.
Maria's in next with her 7-day forecast. Plus, Martha Stewart may have something up her.
Everything is under control and have them go back into their homes. Guys, back to you.
And the police are fairly confident that nothing else is going to erupt.
No, nothing else probably at this point.
Okay, well, that's relatively good news. Thanks a lot, Lindsay. Let's take it over to the weather right now. Maria's going to give us a closer look. Maria?
Hey, Jack, it was so great to end this holiday weekend on a lovely note. The sun was shining this afternoon, and if you could handle the brisk breeze, it was actually a very enjoyable afternoon. And holding on to your hat and maybe your plate was a good piece of advice if you happen to join in the festivities downtown.